Peace. I'm Hawaii Mike. I'm the co-founder of Chef for Hire, and welcome to the Miseducation of Mary Jane. See, this legal world of politics is wild, man. It's literally all over the place. It's much different than we was just doing our own thing and truly had community in the traditional, underground, whatever market y'all want to call it. Let's just agree it was a much different place. Legal cannabis is a world of misinformation and misdirection, from politics to education to marketing. It's all about control. It's all about power. It's all about like this scarcity mindset and everybody trying to like be worried about who's taking what from who. This place, Miseducation of Mary Jane, these videos I'm going to be doing, it's a place for higher conversations, to share perspective, knowledge, and information. I'm going to start this solo, but trust, I'll probably be bringing on some guests. We'll have some other people on. And I remember having so many conversations, so much positivity, and just talking about what this could look like, you know, us coming in at the ground level, being able to shape it. There was so much energy, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, you might ask, like, why do I care? At the end of the day, we are all on our own individual journeys. We are the lead actors in our personal movies we call life. My goal is for everyone to explore their inner space and do that work in here to be the best version of themselves. And that's something cannabis has helped do for me, to help create homeostasis in my internal environment. I've used it medicinally, I use it recreationally, I use it in all kinds of places in my life, including cooking and food. See, humans, we're 99.9% the same. But that 1%, that 0.1% where we're different, it changes things like our physical appearance, disease susceptibility, and all types of other individual characteristics, including how drugs affect us. One of these things we call a drug is cannabis and all kinds of other psychedelics, but we'll talk about cannabis for now. And so factors like diet, lifestyle, pre-existing health conditions can also impact. Even your endocannabinoid system can impact the difference in how we feel things. See, even food to us tastes different. And so the effects of cannabis and the cannabinoids are different to all of us. There is no, this is exact for everybody, period, point blank. So cannabis, just like life, is an individual experience. Now, y'all might be asking, well, why the fuck am I qualified to do this shit? Who are you, bro? You're not a doctor, you're not this. Nah, I'm just somebody that cares about the plant. I'm somebody who's been around the plant my whole entire life, but just have a personal experience that I want to share with y'all. And I have a personal perspective and lots of knowledge just from all my experiences around the plant in general, as well as creating this company, Chef for Hire. My mom smoked weed when I was in the womb. She did psychedelics 2 days after I was born, so I've been around all of this stuff my whole life. My father, as a musician, a struggling musician, subsidized his income by selling weed. One of the people he used to buy trees from was Dennis Perone. If y'all don't know who Dennis Perone is, you're going, who is that? Pause the video right now. Go do your internet search, and then you can come back to this and understand who that person is. So at around like 16 years old, I started pinching from the pounds. I started selling to my friends, but actually mostly my friends' parents. And got pretty good at it, but wasn't trying to go crazy. I was a b-boy, I was a dancer. Like, I know for those of y'all that know me in the New York scene, like y'all probably don't see that, but trust, I was in it and I was trying to battle everybody. But long story short, I was sneaking to a music convention called the Gavin and was selling weed to all the people coming in from out of town. A few of them took a liking to me, offered me an internship. They were like, yo, come to New York. 4 months later, I moved to New York. A month after I moved here, I turned 19 years old. So I've been here a long time, 52 years old right now. When I first moved here, if y'all know anything like the trees looked like the early 90s in New York, they were not good. And so I started getting trees sent out from Cali, selling weed to my peoples and in the music industry. I was at the Source magazine at the time, so word quickly got around that I had the fire, so I was known for that. It's really even how I got my nickname. And it's funny, like, as much as I was selling weed back then, it was never like, you know, oh, let's try to go get legal and do this. Even though I have friends in Cali that I look back now like, yo, damn, what if I would have started growing with them when they were doing it back in the late 90s? What if I would have opened a dispensary? But that wasn't my path. My path was to be here in New York. And once once Washington and Colorado went legal, people started looking at me like, yo, how you getting into this? What are you gonna do? Met a woman from Seattle who was cooking with cannabis, learned from her. We started a company called Epic Moments NY. You can look it up in IG, it's still there. See some of our early stuff. And, I just ended up handling and doing everything myself because our partnership didn't work out. And just got really good at making edibles and then started doing dinners and cooking. And Dinner is Dope was born in 2015. Shortly after, I started becoming active in the local politics and advocating for legalization because people started hitting me up to talk on panels and do different things. And it was just like an interesting time because it was such a small group of individuals. There was a very high energy. It was exciting. And it was being part of something that, had been so taboo. It was counterculture. We were in the underground. And now having an ability to kind of bring it to light was definitely exciting. So got into that and, was doing the trips to Albany and was on the buses and going to the senators and the congressmen and women and going to their offices and advocating for the plant. And again, there was solidarity. There was collaboration. There was community. And then legalization happens and the rollout starts to come and it just gets messy. And so that's kind of the stuff that I want to get into because we've been put into a place where it's almost like we're in a foreign land with something we've been very familiar with, but at the same time, we've had to be very careful with. We had to be off the radar with. We had to move in silence. And there were certain codes that were in that world that did not translate to this new legal world. And we hid from politics. We stayed out of the light, literally, and didn't want to get caught up in these kinds of things, didn't want to be the loudest one on the block, just wanted to do our things. But now that it's legal, now that we're here and it's a, I want to say it's a fight, but it is a fight. It's an opportunity. It is education. It is learning. It is capitalism. It is so many things rolled into this incredible healing plant. And all it wants to do is create homeostasis for human beings and all mammals. It is literally a lock and key to pretty much every system in our bodies. And I think that's beautiful. But I'm even seeing in our market how cookie cutter, copying, unoriginal, just trying to go and do what everybody else does, kind of seen. There's so much resistance to learning and adapting and figuring this out as far as how to make this work. Like none of us were doing retail stores. Well, a few of us probably were, but none of us was doing retail stores. None of us really knew how to operate under compliance. We knew how to operate under the codes that we all had, those silent codes, but compliance, especially when the goalposts are moving, especially when the people that are responsible for overseeing these compliance aren't really educated in the space. It's really tough to get this moving. On top of that, I don't really believe that they are making this a fair opportunity for us to really participate in this industry. I feel like they're standing this carrot in front of us, showing us just enough to get our palates wet and to get us involved, and then they're gonna pull the rug out from under us by all of these big people. You know who the companies are, I mean the types of companies they are, lobbying, spending hundreds of millions of dollars, like y'all just seen with the hemp ban, right? So they're showing us enough, making us feel like we can get involved, and I think they're gonna just pull it out, buy our companies for pennies on the dollar, and push us the fuck out the way. Until then, I'm here for the fight. I'm here for pushing this forward in the most positive and productive way, and hopefully inspiring and instigating and bringing people back together so we can truly build community. Because community is something that goes across in every space that I go. It is attached to everything that what I do, as far as all of my companies, how I think, how I approach life, period. I communicate unity because unity is our capital. We are stronger together. We have to remove this negative scarcity mindset. We have to start working together again. We have to figure out that solidarity. We have to figure out collaboration. And we have to, before that, figure out communication. Right now, I feel like everybody's just fighting for survival, right? And in this modern time, that mode, that survival, what we're really think survival is attached to money. And when we think about money, especially those of us that come from spaces where we didn't have a lot, we're not rich people, there's a scarcity mindset attached to that. Then you have all the people who have heavily invested. A lot of people, their life savings into this, everything that they had, they're putting their homes up for mortgages. They're doing all of this with the uncertainty of things that are happening. And now we also have a backup in even the licensing. There's still a queue from December of 2023 that has not been checked yet. So it is a wild time, man. And, you know, again, I think if we have spaces like this where we can start having these conversations and truly start talking about it, talking about our experiences, talking about our issues, talking about the things we need help with, talking about education and information and just sharing it. Because before legalization happened, before everybody wasn't fighting for that little bit of money they think is out there, we were all teams. We were all together. We were all singing Kumbaya. Like it was, again, moving in motion. We were a whole crew. Now, all of that is disjointed completely. I don't see it. I don't feel it. It is very rare. And everything is kind of up in the air right now. And so Miseducation of Mary Jane is going to be a space where we can have these conversations, again, where we can share our perspective, share our learnings, our understandings, and all the information, and really just talk about like the current events and things that are happening. But I'm going to start with kind of the rollout and all these things that have kind of become the issues, these pillars of conversation, these pillars of, well, it used to be pillars that held this up. Now I feel like it's pillars that like become daggers and they're just stabbing everybody in the heart, man. Like there's going to be a lot of people that are going to go out of business, that are not going to be able to survive. It's a lot of people that are going to show their true colors. Yeah, so many people aren't who they say they are. And, you know, again, like at the end of the day, I really want us to know that this is our experience. This is up to us to change, to push, to push for change and to really make our mark. Like now is that time, but it's going to be much harder to do it alone. So this is the Miseducation of Mary Jane. I'm Hawaii Mike, and this is going to be our space to help educate, to help learn and understand. All right, see y'all soon. Peace.